Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Day 2 in LEAP. And what an amazing Day 1 we've had last night or yesterday. As LEAP continues to deliver on its promise to fuel the momentum of this tech movement in Saudi Arabia. Yesterday, we were kicked off by His Excellency Abdullah Swaha, highlighting some of the key achievements in 2022 and the state of the tech market. He also highlighted some of the key investments that happened in 2022 and where we are in them. And he shed some light on parts of the $9 billion investments in tech and digital that are happening in Saudi Arabia. We've heard from our partners that are coming in and investing in Saudi Arabia, building new cloud regions, Microsoft, Huawei, Zoom, and some of our existing partners that are expanding their current investment and footprint in Saudi Arabia, Oracle with a $1.5 billion investment in Saudi. We've also heard from some of our local players that are emerging to capitalize on these cloud opportunities, with Dhawiyat announcing a $2.6 billion investment to build data center and connectivity to capitalize on the cloud movement in Saudi Arabia. We've also got a chance to hear on some of the exciting new stuff that's coming to galvanize the youth movement in Saudi Arabia with the Metaverse Academy from Meta, as well as some exciting social apps like Beam and Hectare announced yesterday. We've also seen the forgings of a new alliance between Saudi Arabia and China in the Saudi-Chinese Alliance for Tech, where startups and tech giants from both countries are going to be joining hand to further fuel the growth in both countries. We've also got a chance to hear from industry leaders and experts on Industry 4.0 and how it's capitalizing and balancing between the local growth and balancing with the risks and mitigating them from the single market concentration and moving into globally connected regional hubs that can serve local growth all over the world. We've also heard from DCO and how it aims to support its member states and member countries on their digital priorities. E-government in Oman, digital FDI in Jordan, deep tech companies in Nigeria, and digital literacy in Ghana. Last but not least, we've heard from some of our global investors. His Excellency mentioned the massive growth that's happening in Saudi Arabia with 72% VC funding year-over-year growth. And yesterday, our global investor shared with our entrepreneurs what they are looking for when they invest in SMEs and startups. And on that note, today, we will be hearing some of the investing and financing instruments that are going to be announced in Day 2. So without further ado, I'll leave you with some of our key announcements for today. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your Day 2.
Your Excellency, our great thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Day 2 of our announcements. So, without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our first announcement. Please welcome on stage Abdul Rahman Tarabtuni, Founder and Chief Executive Officer, STV.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم جميعا. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take you over the next few minutes throughout a journey and a story. I need the clicker. Thank you. So, a few years ago, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that this region had a massive gap. Our people are young, tech-savvy, and driven. They're heavy consumers of technology, but they're also producers. They want to engage in building products, and they want to be part of building large technology companies that are not only Saudi-specific, but also one day could be globally relevant. And if you take a look, the world was transforming. Digital was being weaved into our daily lives. Companies throughout the world were building their own digital experiences. And everywhere you look, there were large digital companies that are creating value and expanding throughout the world. Our region did not have such. And what was going on in parallel to all of this global influx of tech, a massive transformation that was happening in Saudi Arabia. A grand vision was being put in place, and execution power was set in motion. All thanks to great leadership. Leadership that gave us the license to dream, and not only that, the means to pursue it. And leadership that did not settle for looking at the future and building it, but even go as far as leapfrogging it. Your Royal Highness, our words fail at expressing how grateful we are to you, but we definitely will endure and aspire to make our actions speak. And because of this, we wanted to take a step. We wanted to build a platform that allows Saudi capital and Saudi talent to build the next-gen economic engines of the region and take a stab at making them also globally relevant. And we started STV, Saudi Technology Ventures. Our partners, STC, took a huge bet on us, and we went into the market live with $500 million, day one. You have to realize that this was a huge bet. We and STC came together, and we wanted to make a dent in the technology ecosystem. And to put things in context, $500 million back in 2017 was 12 times the total capital that was deployed in tech VC in Saudi Arabia in that year. And we came live with such an amount, and people thought it was crazy, but that's how big things start. We wanted to be disciplined, and we wanted to be thesis-driven, enable value creation, and pave the way through these investments to exits. We were fortunate to back 50 companies and founders who were building the next-gen digital native experiences in their own sectors, a lot of which became national champions. We also enabled value creation by partnering and extending strategic alliances with some of the top global names in tech that you see on screen. And we also worked with regulators and government entities to establish a playbook for building, scaling, growing, and even exiting and listing some of those companies in the Saudi Stock Exchange. And we aspire to play our small role in enabling listings to happen in Saudi Arabia and for tech to be the major driver of that. We were lucky that this momentum has generated to date $1.5 billion of capital raised for our portfolio companies, $600 million of FDI that came in because of STV-led syndicates, and $28 billion of services and merchandise value that is residing now and localizing and compounding in the Saudi economy. And also, we created tens of thousands of jobs through the portfolio companies we invested in. This is all due and thanks to our founders. We were lucky to have 2 unicorns to date, and we aspire to have more. We also have a single exit in our first, and we're still at year 5, and we have a 2x recorded return on our current Fund 1, and we still have 5 years to go in which we aspire to lift those metrics. The takeaway, though, is that this is just the beginning. We think the Middle East, primarily anchored and fueled by Saudi Arabia, is moving from linear growth to exponential growth. And we see a path where 45 unicorns are going to be created over the next few years. This is a $100 billion opportunity that we need to pursue and capture. And it's not only about unicorns, it's also about what we call at STV rocket ships. These are very disciplined companies who focus on growth, but also profitability, who look at compounding effects to win in a very specific market with a very deep TAM. So we're not really focused on the valuation per se, but we really want to have a portfolio of sustainably growing, profitable companies that are $100 million plus in revenue, and we want to essentially have a portfolio of such winners, agnostic of whether they're going to end up being unicorns or not, because we're all about pursuing value and enabling our founders. And this journey is going to require a lot of capital and a lot of energy. We anticipate that over the next 5 years, for us to capture that $100 billion opportunity, we need to invest roughly $25 billion for these opportunities to materialize and have exits. So today, I'm very excited and looking forward to announce STV Total Growth, our Sharia-compliant, first-of-its-kind investment strategy that is a platform encompassing venture debt, growth equity, and pre-IPO investing. We're privileged to have an initial commitment of $150 million by the names you see on screen, and which we're thankful for. Our proposition is very simple. We want STV to be the go-to platform for total growth investing to our founders, to cater for their financial needs throughout their life cycles, whether it's debt or equity or pre-IPO, and we want to generate total growth returns for our investors that combine the profile of yield income on debt and the outsized returns on venture capital. We look forward to sharing more about this platform in the months to come. And if I want to leave you with anything, is that we're just getting started, and we hope to play our role in making Saudi Arabia the tech platform of the Middle East. Thank you.